Hello, this is Gemma from the Crafty Little Gem. Thanks for joining me today. And we are on project 2 with the collaboration with Jackie's Crafty Things. I will pop the link to her channel in the description box below. And today we are making a hot chocolate box. I have already gone ahead and made quite a few of these using the Merry and Bright designer paper here. So I have gone with all of the colours, and there is only one colour left that I need to do, and that is the crushed curry. So this is the paper pad we are using today, and just got my little bookmark there, and this is the stamp set that we are concentrating on today. I have already done my colouring in and cutting out and everything for my topper, so let's get started. We'll get that out of the way. You will need the deckled rectangle dies. This is for, let me grab one. So this is what we're making. That's the topper. It opens up like so, and we have a little window here, and here is where you can put some white card with to and who it's from, a little note and everything like that. This is mainly for my kids' school friends. So we will pop the dies out of the way, and this is my prototype with obviously all my scribbles on, and we also have a window sheet. Now it depends on how big you want to go with your window sheet, is depending on how big your window sheet will need to be. But we'll just pop that out and we'll get some cutting done. So first of all, we need to cut, we're going to leave it at 12 inches, but we're going to cut it to 8 1/4. So you can actually get this out of and 2 A4 card. You can get this out of 2 A4 pieces of card. However, you can get one out of a 12 by 12. So we are going to leave that there. So we just have a bigger flap here. We then need to cut this one down to 8 1/4 again for the height, and 3 1/8. Like so, and we can remove that until we need to do the patterned paper. We'll grab the scoreboard. So with the smaller piece with the 8 1/8 at the top, we are just going to score using the right end at 1/2 inch, turn it round, another 1/2 inch, and turn it to the 8 1/4 side, and you are going to score at 1 1/4. So I will lift that up so you can see. This is the bit you're going to be die cutting your window out of. We will then bring this piece in, and on the 8 1/4 side you're going to score at 1 1/4, 3 1/2, 4 3/4, and 7. You can turn it to either side because it's mirrored on each end. You're going to score at the bottom 1 1/4, then 8 1/4, and then 9 1/2. We're then going to fold and burnish our score lines. And I must say, crushed curry is one of my favourite colours that they have. And I actually overlooked the DSP for this, but the wonderful Tammy Spruce at the Poodles event gave us a 6x6 set of each papers, and I was hooked straight away. So this is all Tammy's fault. Okay, so we'll pop them out of the way. So on the larger bit, this is how we're going to cut. We need to keep these ends, so we are going to wedge in to that score line and wedge up, cut up and wedge in, and then cut up. Just pop those bits off, and then we are taking all of this section away like so. So on this top bit here, we're going to do the same, and we're just going to remove this corner section like so. If I pop that in there, you might be able to see it better. And then we are actually then going to come in to these sides and wedge out slightly and straight in on that score line and wedge, and then you can go straight in on that score line there. So we can remove all of those bits, and then on this cutout bit we are just cutting up and wedging out, cutting up and wedging out. So we will be working on this smaller bit first. So we will come back in with our DSP, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a strip, and this strip needs to be what did I do it to? Get a ruler, because I know I changed it slightly. I thought it was 6 3/4, and it is. So we're going to cut a section off on the side at 6 3/4. So we do have this left over, however we have got a way of using this up on another project. And we are then going to go in at, I'm sure that this was 2 inches. So we have 2 inches. I'm going to take that out of the way because this bit will be used on covering the front, but we're only interested in this bit at the minute. So that is going to sit on there. We'll glue that into place. And I'm actually going to concentrate quite a bit on these sides where I think I'm going to be die cutting quite close to the edge, and that can go down. And then we can pop that out the way to dry for a second. Bring your cutter back in, and this is how this is going to lay, because this is going to be the outside. So we're going to work across. So the first one is 1 1/8. So we've still got the 6 3/4. We're now just cutting our sections away, and it is 1 1/8. Then we have 2. A 1 1/8. Again, this is so the pattern goes all the way around. Then 2 again. And then another 1 1/8. And that is for that end. We will get those adhered down. And I like using Tombow because you get that little bit of wiggle room. Because trust me, I need that little bit of wiggle room. few more left to do. And that one on the end there with a slight border this side. So make sure they are all down nice and even. And then, because the lid is actually going to be coming down this way, we're then going to cut a piece that is, I'll pop that on top, a piece that is 2, because we know how wide that is. And then we are going to cut to 2 1/4, because that is the length. That is going to go in there. We're then going to cut a 1 1/8 section off the top of that as well. So 1 1/8. That can go in there. And actually, yeah, no, that's fine. And then we want 2 1 1/8. And I'm just going to bring this other bit in just for the last 1 1/8. And they were 2 1/4, sorry. So we've done 1 1/8 strip. We're then going to pop that strip in on the long side and cut 2 at 2 1/4, like so. I'll pop those out of the way. So the next thing we're going to do with these is we're actually going to cut them at an angle. So I want one that way. Okay. And I want one that way. So opposite corners, because when you turn it round, you'll have 2 right and you'll have 2 left. And we are going to adhere those into place before we put it together. So if you do another one, you've already got your corners cut. So we'll pop them down. That's 1. And that's 2. Pop the middle one down. And pop that one down. Like so. Make sure they are in place as they should be. And that, when it's wrapped over, is nearly there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring in this smaller section that we had. I'm going to bring in my deckled rectangles, and then you can just decide on what size you want. I did think I went a bit over the top and did quite a big section, but you can go smaller, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to go over and pop that through my die cutting machine and take that out. We are back, and I have die cut the centre of that out using the deckled dies. I have got a bit of acetate that measures 2 by 4, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reinforce them lines there, and I am using liquid glue. You should probably bring in matting on this one because it goes quite close to the edge. And very gently, if I can, I'm just going to do a very thin line right round the outside of there. I can bring a little bit at the top and bottom. You can use whatever tape or adhesive you want on this, because I have obviously gone a little bit too high there with the adhesive, but luckily it just does wipe away. Bring them two down, secure that into place there, wipe that extra away, and bring that up and down. So I'm going to keep it that side for now, and I'm going to put just 2 lines of tearing tape. On this bit here. And then we are going to turn it over, and I'm just going to use the tearing tape just for that side and that side. And then we can pop that out of the way. So I've done it on the outside of there, I've done it on the inside of there, because that's going to tuck up and round. So with this, I'm actually going to glue the bottom on already. So the 2 tabs, and we are just going to bring them in. And I'm just going to bring that one in to secure that into place as well. And we can fold that back. We can then take the backing off one of these sides, if we can. That one will be fine. And you can do this while it's flat if you wish, but I just find it easier to line it up on that side and then press it in. You can then do the left hand side, and that should just slot in, because you don't want it coming over this score line. And just secure that down. Then with this bottom, that's actually going to wrap round like you would do a normal box, so it makes the front neat. So then we can fold all of that round, and we can work on the lid. We're going to pop some liquid adhesive on one side and make sure it is flat and in place, and on this other side. And then we can open it up, and then what I find is it's so much easier because I've put that on. I can then just cut away from bottom to top on both sides, literally from that corner to that corner. Make sure the lid fits on. You can then bring in your decoration. So I've gone in with all of the colours that were in with that pack, and just grabbing some dimensionals. I'm going to pop one on the back, and we can just pop him wherever we want to. And then you can fill the inside with goodies for a hot chocolate. I need to go and get some more hot chocolate pouches, but that is a marshmallow in there, and I've got a candy cane as well. If you're going to cut this, it needs to be 2 by 6 3/4, and if you wanted to put a little bit of pattern paper on that side, or you could put magnets to make sure it closes, I'm not bothered about that. That is again 1 1/8 by 6 3/4. But I think just folding that round and popping that lid on down like that is absolutely fine. And you can always fold that a little bit more if you wanted to. So I'll bring in all of the other ones. I hope you like that. I hope you like this set. It is one of my favourites this year. Thank you for joining me, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.